Hello, hello. Let's check the volume. Hello, hello. Seems to sound good. Okay, I am going to play some Minecraft. Yeah, I'm thinking I should finally get around to dealing with the horse stables and detailing the paths in my world. I keep putting those off, and they're kind of important. So I don't know if anyone else is dealing with this, but my Minecraft launcher no longer has an icon. It's very strange. I mean, first it just randomly like stopped working, I guess. Like I would try to load the game and it just would fail. Or not load the game, I would try to open the launcher and it would just fail every time. So I think I uninstalled it and then reinstalled it, and then it probably updated because maybe there was some kind of issue there, and now it just doesn't have an icon. It's just like invisible. It's so strange. Here's my resource packs. Apologies if my voice is sounding a little like rough or broken. I don't know what's up with my voice. I have some 7-Up. My mom seems to think that helps with like colds. I don't think it's a cold, but maybe similar. I don't know if that's true, if it does, but I have some 7-Up. All the kitty cats. I don't know what I should name this one. I could just name it Baby Jelly. Jelly Jr. I don't know. Oh. A gift. A gift. And the storage is another thing I gotta work out. We'll do that eventually. In the meantime, I might need a lot of gravel. Probably need a lot of gravel. I think I'm gonna start with at least one horse stable. I think I want to build maybe 2. Happy guest. They are quite the fun mob. Yeah, it's gonna be really nice to have a proper setup for all my horses. Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do about, well, you know, when I continuously get more and more horses, because that will probably happen. I'll say possibly happen. Let's see, I should try to get some more. Some more warm chickens. There are other means through which I can achieve that. Oh no. I'm gonna guess I was there. This is why I don't like using a pickaxe on the crops. It's so easy to accidentally break blocks. Especially if you had a haste beacon going in the area. Oh. I only really needed two. What do you call these? 2 wheat seeds, I guess. It's strange because like this is 2 like handfuls of wheat seeds. Let's put the 2 unique ones together. And I got a warm one, yay! Yeah, breeding the warm and cold chickens together feels like a smart way of going about that, because you know, I'm trying to get warm chickens, but I also have less of the cold chickens than just the normal ones. Okay, so I've been imagining I'll probably just have an extended area off of this. Actually, I wonder. Would it be weird if I basically just added another building off to the side of this? Because I was just gonna have like maybe 3 or 4 horse stables like right here and have the roof stick out a bit further. But I could go for more like, yeah, just like another building. So like a smaller version of this kind of, where there is like a row of horses here, and then there's a middle section that the path goes through, and then another row of horses. I think I might try that. It potentially sounds a little strange, but I think that could be good. I don't know if I have enough wood for it, but I most definitely do not have enough deep slate because I did not bring any. I kind of forgot about that one. So I'll just grab like 3 stacks of that. Oh, I have so much. So much honeycomb. It is a borderline unreasonable amount. Kitten cat. Oh. Oh, they're so cute. Now, where did you go? They went out and got me some string. How kind. Dang it. Okay, yeah, this is all of the blocks. So yeah, this path will need to be adjusted, but I think that's fine. This looks like will probably also have to be adjusted, and this. That's all fine. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how this is gonna turn out, but hopefully good. It's very lovely being able to just turn deep slate into cobbled deep slate in the stone cutter. Okay, Okay, so I suppose this is still the wall. Which means this part is where it's gonna transition. So I guess I remove all of this. And let's see, was this slabs or a full block? Not that it particularly matters, but it does look like it was a full block. Was it? No. No, they are slabs. Probably would have just used slabs here regardless, but I was curious. It might have bugged me enough to do full blocks along the edge there. Okay. I think probably like I was gonna say two blocks per what do you call it? Like per stall? But it doesn't look like that's gonna work. So I guess 3 is what this has to be. It's an odd number. I could technically do 4, but that just feels a little mean. Efficiency is not really what I go for in this world. Yeah, so this part doesn't necessarily need to be as long as this. Because I do want this to be overall like quite a bit smaller. I'm not going for literally like a second one of these. So I mean probably just like 3. I think that's good. This might be all fence gates in the front, but I think that's good to like kind of mark it out. So yeah, do that, and then how do I want to do this part? Probably I think I might make it flat instead of having this part like stick out like that. Oh, you know, another possibility that I am just realizing. um, Instead of having the horse pens face this way, I could have them face this way. And then I could put horses on either side here. I think I'm just gonna do that, actually. Because yeah, this thing that I was going for was... I think it might have worked, but it was feeling a little odd. Oh, hang on. I'm back. Ah. Yeah, so how do I want to design this then? Maybe like this. This pillar makes things a bit awkward. I don't think I really want to do more than like 3 wide for the horse stalls. Like, I think 3 feels pretty good. I could even like add a bit of decoration in there and they would still have a bit of space. But yeah, more than that just feels like unnecessarily inefficient. Oh no. Broke a seed on accident. Gotta just keep trying with the warm chicken egg. Little one. Where have they gone? Hello. they're so cute. Hmm. How do I do this? Okay, I think it's gonna be... This is the start, so I just need to figure out what to do with this wall. Well, I'll just do that for now. Simplify things a bit. Now, how many of these do I want? I think that about answers my question. I can only really do... I can only really do 3 per side. trying to imagine how I want this to look. I think regarding these stalls, speaking of, this should, I think this should move back a little. Maybe even go in instead of out. Hello, cow. Okay, so regarding this side, if I wall off this middle section, then, like, you know, I'm just imagining these horses, especially if I also wall off this section, like, they would just be staring at a dirt wall, which sounds a little sad. So I feel like these in between, or this in between section should be open. Not sure about this side, this area. Let's see, what if did something like this? Maybe. How does that feel over here? Might be a little strange, but I think it's okay. I think the only other way that I can handle this transition, that I can go about this transition, is if I move all of this over another block, and then I guess just like give the cows extra room, which wouldn't be a bad thing. The worm chicken grew up. Oh, that's lovely. And actually, I have 2 seeds here with me. So you and you. Please? Oh my goodness. I've gotten so unlucky with the worm chickens in particular. So a benefit to extending this out, moving all this out 1 block, would be this end as well, because currently this is set up to where like all of these, I can't really put depth on this side because then it would be uneven with this side. So if I move it out, then logically I would move this out as well. These middle pillars might start to look weird then, but I think that's okay. I could also just do something different in the middle. I could do something different for these. But I suppose first let's get an idea of how this looks, mirroring that side. I think it's good. I'm not entirely sure about it though. But yeah, let's move everything over. I was just kind of reminding myself like, yeah, what the situation with my axe was, or is. Oh no. But yeah, this axe does not have unbreaking on it. It also is only efficiency 4, so probably gonna merge it with another axe that I believe has unbreaking, efficiency 4, and silk touch. And then just need to add mending, and it's like perfect. Yeah, this little in-between section is a bit strange. Oh, actually, I shouldn't do this yet, because it's not finished and the cows will just be able to leave. I have visitors. I don't want visitors. These are very mean visitors and they hurt. Dang it. That's what I get for not wearing armor, I guess. But also, like, I'm not expecting to have to deal with that in the day. Definitely a sucky part about villager or pillager raids, just pillager patrols, just existing. me fix up my whole inventory here. Tis a mess now, thanks to them. Yeah, there's a little bit more. Hmm. Would be kind of nice, potentially, if how close those are allowed to spawn to you was a bit more restricted. Now what happened here? What? I'm so confused by this. Precious Muse. Oh yeah, these crossbows are a problem. I had to sneeze. Okay. My inventory is hurting a little bit less. Okay, surely this time. Oh my gosh. That is getting a little bit ridiculous. Okay, I was wondering if chickens liked any type of seeds. It seems they do. I think at this rate, it's kind of okay if some of the chickens in the coop get out. There's so many. Yeah. Okay. Like I'm not sure what I should do here. Actually, for one thing, yeah, that. I mean, I'm not sure about aesthetically, but functionally, that might be a bit better for what I want. Horse, checking out the upcoming horse stables. I mean, these will also work better if I want to have some like fancier shaping. So yeah, I'll probably stick with that. But I think I'm just going to assume I feel good about that. Why have you done this? I don't know how much I'm gonna end up liking this. But we shall try it. I need sticks. brown egg and another no baby chick. Oh. They're so cute. Oh. I'm so glad I have a decorated bedroom. Might still be a little bare bones, but yeah, it's just like it is. There's stuff going on. It's feeling at least a little bit lived in, I think. Oh, this is such a fun setup. Might not technically be efficient, but it just like, I think it feels a little bit better than, you know, that slight tedium of having to having to put the eggs into your crafting table multiple times, since they only stack to 16. Now, I suppose the simplest method would be to just use the recipe book, and then after you craft, you can press space to not autofill the same recipe that you just used. That would be like the easiest and cleanest way of doing things. But it lacks whimsy. At this rate, I might honestly just need to take these chickens that I do have out here with leads, bring them up there, and then just drop them through the roof. In fact, I think that's a pretty good idea. But I should probably get more down there first. And then drop in like a bunch of them. I forgot the sticks, because of course I did. Ow. 20 should be good. I hope 20 is good. I don't think I'm gonna bother going back again if it isn't enough. Oh, 20 is not enough. Actually, I am gonna bother to go back because, yeah, I forgot just how expensive these were. For some reason I was thinking it was just I somehow got like the fence and gate post recipes flipped in my mind, and then also shortened. So I was correct in thinking I needed 2 sticks for the fences, but then was thinking I only needed 1 for the fence gates, which is so incredibly wrong. Okay, so I need 24. Is that right? No, sorry, 18. Yeah. Oh. Crafted one more than I meant to, but that is fine. What do I do about this? you know, when I organize these chests properly, I'm gonna want to include everything and have no empty spaces for copper golem sorting. But I also want it to look nice. I think the solution is something like this. Not sure about all of these spaces. Probably just, well, yeah, probably just additional spaces for some of these blocks, particularly the planks. Anyways, I'll figure all of that out in time. Oh. Oh. Something kind of precious about a cold baby chick being paired with I don't know, I guess you'd call it like a temperate adult chicken. Temperate parent. Where's the kitten cat? There you are. Still nothing. Wow. Oh, one of the cold chickens got out. That's not ideal. Oh well. Okay, now is simply too low. Then yeah, I think that kind of reveals a good point that they're all a bit too low. Because, you know, ideally this is something that you're gonna ride your horse into. So yeah, you want a good bit of headroom. The middle was fine, but the sides were less so. I think I kind of like adding that as a detail as well. It's expensive, but makes it stand out a bit. As for all of this, what do I want to do here? Oh, that's kind of fun, actually. I was gonna just like lower this all the way. But yeah, having these like sort of... No, I just did the same thing twice. Having these like sort of windows is kind of fun. So why game must you have literally every single block fly away from me to the other side? That's just cruel. Hello, sheep. That is not where you belong, but you can stay there for now. Not sure how I feel about that, but it's interesting. And then... could do that for the middle section. How does that feel in here? I feel like it makes sense that it would be a bit more closed off like that. Really? There's something about the mobs in this game that it's like the second you open an area for them that you don't want them to go, they just want to pathfind to it, just like immediately. It doesn't always happen, but it's like it's often enough that it's just like, why are you like this? What if I don't think so. It was an interesting idea though. I was thinking I might try to go for like a bit of a fancier pattern. But I think that's all right. I don't know what I want to do for the roof here exactly. Where has the kitten gone? There you are. I love how reliably they come back into that tent. Probably because they're pathfinding to the bed. works out pretty well for me. I might actually end up putting all those blocks back. But for starters, let's just go with this. I think it's fine to just leave that one blank. Or, you know, as deep slate. Wait. This was exactly 3 stacks of... That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Dang it. Well, I suppose that was bound to happen eventually. I used the wrong pickaxe. This feels maybe a little tight, but I think this is good. And then I do want to make another stable like this over by the actual house, but with how much time this alone has taken, even if the other one would go a bit faster since I have a better idea of what I'm wanting to build, I think I'll leave it at just this for the stables for today. Because I still want to do some path work. Oh, so cute. Oh, 4 brown eggs. 5. Okay. If I somehow do not get a warm chicken, okay. I was about ready to scream. That's not exactly true. Or it would have been whatever my equivalent of screaming would have been. But, like, oh my gosh. Yeah, let's just grab a bunch more of these. Not that. Didn't mean to throw that egg. That is fine. I mean, luckily the baby chick did not fall into the campfire. That would have been very sad. Let's see. Oh, I do need more cherry shelves. Also, this diamond axe is... Oh, I don't have... This other one doesn't have Silk Touch. Oh, this one has Silk Touch. Right. Okay. Also, I didn't realize they were both damaged. Well, that just means I have no reason to wait. 20. Okay, 14 is more reasonable. Oh yeah, I need a whole lot of dirt. Oh yeah, this one's a donkey. Ah, okay. Well, I guess my goal is to bring all of these horses over, so... yeah, I mean... kind of amazed when none of them fell down that little I don't know, crevasse. Okay, gotta get some levels. Oh yeah, I put my other anvil in my shulker box. I was wondering about that because I'm pretty sure I made one, but I'm not seeing it anywhere, which feels concerning. Oh, I forget that I can check the hoppers for stuff. They are also storing things. Oh. It looks like it's time to cook some gear. Yeah, this little effect with the bricks is very cool, I think. I'd love to see people do this kind of thing more often. I could even just like... Oh. That's upside down. Could have a couple more like that here and there. I'm so close. Oh, I love that little spear flourish. And there we go. Now that's a nice looking axe. Oh, I totally forgot to name it. I'm so silly. Oh, and it's so expensive. Dang it. Yeah, if I was gonna name it, it should have been right then. Because the thing is, when I upgrade it to Netherite, I have to rename it. Well, I don't have to. It's just, if I don't want it to say diamond whatever, then yeah, I have to rename it. Which is unfortunate. It will, these items will keep their... They will keep their design while visually upgrading to Netherite, even with the name Diamond, even with the like prefix Diamond. Because you know, I found while playing that it was a bit awkward upgrading weapons that you've renamed, or they just lose the name. So I have it support the diamond names while appropriately looking like the material they're supposed to be. But it is mainly a temporary like meant as a temporary solution when you're upgrading your gear. And it immediately just, yeah, visually it's looking how it's supposed to, and then you just worry about the name after. But yeah, I don't know what I would have renamed it to. This one is really nice. There's a hatchet. Oh no. This is inspired by like Japanese axes. I try to include like different cultures where I can. In fact, I think that's kind of been most of my inspiration for the item renames. But you know, that can be a little tricky at times. With certain things like shovel, like you generally, I mean, it's a shovel, like there's not exactly a ton of options with that kind of thing. Yeah, Skigox. This is one of my favorites. This is more of like a, I want to say like Nordic axe. Oh, and then I have two-sided versions of all of them, by just adding battle at the start, including the normal axe, battle axe. But yeah, Tabar and Skigox are my favorite. The question is, well, I guess, right, yeah, fortune doesn't really matter that much, so the Silk Touch should just be whichever is my favorite. Which I do think is the Tabar. I think this one just looks really nice. But yeah, I didn't... Oh, there's a baby zombie. Hello. Goodbye. Yeah, you know, I don't want to add more history to it unnecessarily. So if I had renamed it when I merged them together, then that would have been great. That it wouldn't have made a difference. But now it's like, you know, like I have to, when I rename it once it's Nether, I have to do that as like a separate thing, as an isolated thing, so I might as well just wait and do it then. I should do some fishing while I'm down here. Also, I should really just leave this fishing rod down here, because I don't really go fishing any other time. In theory, it might be nice to have with me, but while I'm more limited on ender chest space, I think it's better to keep it elsewhere. And also this one has Curse of Vanishing, so you know, it has some risk. Of course, maybe kind of a null point when it's sitting in an ender chest most of the time. But like, it's riskier to be using out in the world than, you know, down in this little cave that should be quite safe. Yeah, not intending to spend a ton of time down in this. Down at this zombie spawner. Just wanna heal up my axe. I think at this point it's probably good, but doesn't hurt to get it to full. What is this? Aqua Affinity, that's nice. That would have, I believe Aqua Affinity would have water effect, but I put fire protection, or I put the fire effect higher in the priority. I think I did that because there's more water enchantments. So getting a fire enchantment is a bit more substantial feeling. Although arguably the water enchantments are more useful. But regardless. I saw a really nice design with eyelashes recently. Let's see. Where like you put some layer pixels in the top corner, two pixels in the top corner, none at the bottom corner like I have here. And I think just like the shaping that adds looks really nice. I might try that for myself, for my own character here. I think they had the eyes a pixel lower So it might not look exactly the same, but it should be close enough. I'm just gonna put that there for now. I think that's pretty good. I will call that satisfactory. I'm glad that worked. Okay. Now bring all of these horses. Okay, well, one of them is deciding to be difficult. Bring all of these horses over this way. The kitten mews are just too precious. Oh, none of them have saddles. Right, that is probably something that I should fix. Okay, I think one of them actually had a saddle. Yeah. You do have a saddle. Nice. And look at that, they're protected from the rain. build up this area of the terrain a bunch more. I think I'll probably leave this tree. It's a little awkward, like brushing up against the terrain like that, but I don't think that's necessarily unrealistic or anything. Okay. Yeah, I think that's looking good. I don't know if I want to do that. It probably shouldn't be grass. Ah, yeah, I get to insta-mine pumpkins now. Well, good to see that these mobs are still managing to trample my crops. Because of course they are. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, I think the only way to fully stop that would be to have these walls go over the edge. Because I was hoping their pathfinding wouldn't really let them in these areas, but they do just walk over and drop down. Where did that zombie come from? Oh, maybe this roof is probably not spawn proof, actually. Yeah. It's not something I considered. Oh, hello. I'm actually doing great on pumpkins now. Is there a reason I'm still holding on to all of these wood blocks? I don't think so. Still need more shelves for the stables. I don't think I'm gonna worry about that right this moment. I didn't quite need that much dirt. Now, coarse dirt, on the other hand, and gravel, this stuff I need a lot of. I'm thinking... I think I want to start with this area. You know, I think I agree with Gemini Tay in not liking the ability to insta-mine dirt. Of course, not that she disapproves of its existence in the game, just like generally it's kind of more of a hindrance. Yeah, I don't know. All in all, it's of course very nice to have. It's a big convenience thing, but yeah, it's just, it can be a little difficult to control. That is quite the drop. Well, goodbye, piece of dirt. I don't think I'll be getting you back. Okay, there's another warm chicken. Wait, have I been kind of silly this whole time? I think I can just throw it through there. There might be a small chance of it hitting one of these chickens because they've been hanging out at the like window area. But yeah, I think that's a better way of doing that. trying to keep this path from feeling too uniform at any points. every time I hear the little mews. They're just so precious. That maybe could do with some work. I mean, all in all, I think this is looking good. Oh. Right, I don't have silk touch on this shovel. skeleton. What happened to the skeleton? I think rather than like mixing the gravel into the coarse dirt like I had initially imagined, instead kind of like having it in patches here and there. I think that might be a bit more interesting. A bit more interesting of an idea, of an approach. Yeah. That's not the right weapon or item. It's very much not a weapon. Maybe I do want some more gravel here. I think this is looking nice. I was kind of avoiding doing gravel higher up, but yeah, I feel like that's good. Maybe a little bit there as well. Little kitten cat. And then as for these paths, I might actually leave them. I might leave them as just being regular path blocks. decent amount of brown eggs. Okay. Now that'll be 4 worm chickens in here, which is more than there are cold chickens. Even before I lost one. Well, it didn't lose one, but you know, it got out. So that's great. And you know, no. Well, so much for that. Yeah, I wanna let some of the temperate chickens out. It was getting a bit busy in there. Considering the awkward placement of this tree, I think I should actually redirect this path over this way. that was unexpected. This torch was over here. If I put it here though, is that fine? Ooh. No. Close. But no. Yeah, I think... I mean, that'll definitely be nice for not smashing my face through the leaves constantly. And, you know, I think just in general that works a bit better for what I had been going for. I wanted this area to be a bit more windy. I mean, this is more than windy. This is a full-on U-turn, but I think that's good. I'm sorry, horse. Something about leads just... they throw me through a bit of a loop sometimes. Okay. Yeah, I think that's been some good work on the paths. I kind of wanted to do the, like, you know, course start and gravel paths, like for these, just all the way through, but I realized kind of as soon as I started working on the path up the mountain, that's just kind of a lot. And yeah, you know, I don't mind there being a difference between like going up the mountain and then the paths on the mountain. I think it makes sense for those to be a bit more like, I don't know, fancy looking, I suppose. Let's see. Since I've had kind of a bad habit of leaving some projects unfinished, I'm gonna make sure I get the rest of those shelves around the stables. That's interesting. Oh. I think I had noticed that sometimes scaffolding will be placed differently from how I expect. I wasn't sure what was causing that, but it seems to be crouching. So normally you place scaffolding and then you place it on the side and it goes up. Place it on the you place it on the top and it goes out. But if you crouch and place it on the top, it goes up. Crouch and place it on the side. Ooh, that's extra interesting. It goes towards you. Oh, well, I guess... Right, at that rate, you're basically just... You're ignoring the functionality, because that is how crouching tends to work. Right, yeah, why... That actually makes perfect sense, because... That is how crouching works, is it ignores those unique functionalities. The interesting part oh, never mind. I thought it was still working like scaffolding where like it would keep going up, but no. No, so crouching is just crouch placing is behaving exactly as it's supposed to. That just happens to have kind of like a reverse effect of how the scaffolding normally works. Anyways, that is useful to be aware of. I'm used to having the saplings in my offhand, it seems. That is normally what I would do, but I think the scaffolding is more useful. Because a decent amount of the time, you try to... or you're chopping the logs and like it's just a little bit too high up. What? Okay. The game messed with me there because I thought I placed it on the side and then that didn't work, so I'm like, well, I guess I had it backwards. No, I was correct, I just apparently did it wrong. still really wish that Minecraft's F3 worked more like Hytales. Or it's not called F3 in Hytale, but it's not called F3 in this game. Minecraft. Oh, also, it's not. Why am I thinking F3? Wait, what is it normally? F5. That's what it is. Yeah, the third person. That's what it is. I wish Minecraft's third person worked more like Hytales. Because, yeah, Hytale, it's just... It's just switching between first person and back view. Which I think is far more useful than this view. This view is useful. It's good to have, but in Hytale, it's a separate button. It's a separate button, a separate action. And I think that is a lot better. Because most of the time you just don't. You don't need this. Now, to be fair, the way that or like the amount that I use third person is very much not typical for Minecraft. And a lot of people might use this more. Might use the single more when they do use it. But I think that actually goes further to my point because, like, you would then want that to be more accessible than it is currently. So yeah, I don't know. So many saplings, oh my goodness. I have to sneeze. Cats hold a certain kind of power over me where, like, I hear them meow and I just feel such an urge to mimic it. Oh, that was clean. Oh, I checked with my mom, whose cat Hobbs was, and I did actually get the spelling correct. They did not spell her name the same as the character that she was named after, which is interesting. But yeah, my intuition was surprisingly correct there. Now that's beautiful. I'm sure it'll still be fairly easy for me to burn through this, but that's a good supply. Good supply of cherry logs. Oh. Llamas might actually be pretty good village guards, so long as they themselves are safe from the zombies. Otherwise, as I've seen, they just die. Sadly. They pick a fight they cannot win. I actually managed to plant so many cherry trees that it's now kind of a pain to chop them all down, which I suppose is a good thing. Better than not having enough when I'm trying to get some more cherry wood. Naturally, I almost forgot why I was doing this in the first place. I mean, beyond just wanting to have more cherry wood, which is a perfectly valid reason, I think. I need more shelves. And I only need I only need 6. So I'll put the rest of those away. Hopefully I have the correct amount. Oh. Hold on. I completely skipped this side. Yeah, I need to do the stairs and slabs as well. There we go. Man, what about this? Probably just that. Yeah. There are some areas of this that I had not considered. Let's see, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A bunch more. Yeah, I think that should be enough. Yeah, certainly a bit of an interesting design. I think it works. I was also thinking this should probably do that. Logically, like, I think having a divot there would be bad for the roof. You know, the goal of these roofs is for natural elements like rain to flow off of it. I kind of like that. I think that's all right. Now, pretty glowing mountain. Ooh. I suppose it is time for some more pie. To make some more pumpkin pie. Oh, the little Mew is just so precious. I think that was productive. Kind of a less eventful stream, but those were some important things for me to take care of. Definitely, definitely gotta just build more. Just try to get better at like thinking less about it, just trying things. And also hopefully in that process getting better at having more intuition as to like how I want to do things, how I want to build something. I don't have to think as hard about everything. But yeah, next time. I think I might try to do some more villager stuff. I really need to get a farmer. Ideally, that would be. Ideally, it would be a zombified villager that's been cured, so you get the really good discounts. But I don't know. I might just go for having a farmer that I can trade crops with, because otherwise it's like, unfortunately, there's not a ton of purpose in farming. You know, you get so many crops, and it's like, what do you even do with all of this? I think it kind of is just villagers, really. Trade it with villagers. Same with fishing. You get so much fish when you do a ton of fishing, and like you need to have villagers to trade it away. Which I do kind of like that. But it would also be nice if there was some other way that you could use those things. I don't know, maybe not, because then you'd have to deal with both, but it would definitely be cool if you could use them more, like if cooking was more in depth. There's a lot there was like different kinds of meals that you could make with foods, and maybe even display them. That's always fun. It might have been Jeb, or Jens, has stated that they don't want to add any other placeable foods beyond the cake. But I think they should go back on that. I think, you don't need to make all foods placeable, but it's fun to have a few. Like, there's precedent for it. Like, I think build off of that precedent rather than it just being a weird one-off exception. But yeah, like, pumpkin pie is literally right there. I know they display it as having a slice taken out of it, but they can either change that or just ignore it. Like, I don't care. Let me place pumpkin pie. Add cheese and let me place cheese. I think bread As far as like just regular food items go, I think bread would be a really good one to be able to place. But then, yeah, like, I don't know. Let us make salads and, I don't know about sandwiches, but salads. Oh, maybe soup could be placeable. Just like have more meals that are like a combination of things, and then I don't know, maybe they don't need to be placeable, but it would be cute. It would be fun to have stuff like that. I think it's fine if it's just you know, cake, pumpkin pie, what was it? Cheese, and yeah, maybe bread. I think it's fine if it's just certain things like that. Definitely makes sense for it to be like very simple things where like you can get away with it just being like one, just a cube. And then they can all function very similarly where like you eat slices at a time, and it's just like one hunger point. And so then pumpkin pie would have like 8 slices you can eat, which might be the same as cake, actually. It might be. But yeah, totaling the 8 hunger points that pumpkin pie fills when you eat it normally. Same thing, bread would have 5 slices. And yeah, I think that would be great. As for how you place them, that's a bit trickier. I feel like it should be unique where you have to crouch to be able to place it. Because otherwise it would be very obnoxious to accidentally place it while you're just trying to eat it. Or like you were eating it but happen to be looking at the ground or a wall that's attached to the ground, that's adjacent to the ground. And so you accidentally place it as you finish eating. Which that is a separate issue that should be fixed. I don't think, like when you finish an action, I would rather it not automatically move on to a different action. I think eating food, like I think when it's the same action, it's good and makes sense for holding to just like keep auto doing it. But I don't think it should be able to automatically switch to something else after you're done and still holding the button. Like firing a crossbow or placing a block. That's in your offhand, you know. That kind of thing is just obnoxious. But yeah, if they made it so that those like foods that you can eat and place, if they made it so that you have to crouch to be able to place it, I think that would be good. I don't know if there's any other examples of something having functionality like that. Probably not. But regardless, I think that's a good compromise, a good way of doing it. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, I should be back on Saturday. Hopefully earlier in the day, because, you know, once again, I'm streaming rather late. But yeah, I shall, well, yeah, that will be all for today. I shall see you later. Farewell.